Hello and welcome to today's webinar on Information Technology Project Management Fundamentals. This is one of our flagship courses at Kuebiko, and we want to get you introduced to the profession of IT project management. Please check our website, www.kuebikoglobal.com, for more details on this course. All industry verticals, for example, financial services, telecommunications, retail, healthcare, or media, depend on information technology systems to automate their processes. Automation almost always involves building and maintaining complex enterprise-wide software systems. This means that there needs to be someone who owns the end-to-end process of software application development. That person is the project manager. Typically, all projects have four main phases: initiation, where you make a business case for the project and fund it; planning, where you iron out specifics of time, resources, and scope; execution, where you are actively managing a team of people that is building the software product. You constantly monitor and control the execution along the way; and finally, closing, where you complete the project and your clients start actively using it. A project manager is the owner of all of these phases and oversees the entire project. Roles that dabble with the overview of technology and business functionality are called techno-functional roles. Most prominently, business systems analysis, project management, and software quality assurance fit this category. All these roles fall under technology but do not require a software programming background. Hence, they serve as a good foot in the door for people that are interested in getting into information technology but lack the programming experience. The good part is that all these roles pay pretty well compared to a national average of $53,000 per year, as you can see on this chart. The average pay for a project manager, as per the Department of Labor Statistics, is $120,000. However, the true range is anywhere between $100,000 to $150,000, depending on your experience, specialization, full-time versus consulting assignments, and location. A development project always has two important types of people: the business side stakeholders who need the software for automating their business process, and the second type of stakeholder is the technology team, which will develop these applications as per the needs of the end users. A software development lifecycle is just a fancy name for the sequence of steps needed to develop an application from start to finish. It follows a very logical path, like constructing anything else. Let's use house construction as an analogy. A construction company first needs to secure funds and get the paperwork cleared for house construction. Similarly, a software project needs to be funded and cleared before starting. This is called initiation. In the house analogy, you would then lay out the high-level scope of what kind of houses you need to build, and then have an architect develop a detailed blueprint. In software, you do the same thing by deciding scope and eventually gathering detailed requirements of the project in requirements elicitation and functional design. After this, the construction of your house can start. Similarly, in software, you actually start writing the code. Once built, the house needs to be inspected before it can be occupied by buyers. In software, your code needs to be tested at various levels. This is called software quality assurance. Finally, like any house, any recurring maintenance expenses, all software applications too need to be maintained and enhanced from time to time. That is an ongoing process, and all this is driven by the project manager. So what exactly do you do to manage the project? The main things you manage are scope, time, and cost. You need to make sure that you are on time and on budget. To this effect, you break down and assign work, track progress, report status to management, identify, escalate, or mitigate any risks that you see. You will also be interfacing with HR for recruitments, IT vendors for contract management and service level agreements. You might also be talking to other groups that are affected by your project for any integration needs into your application. You do not get involved in hands-on programming or technology architecture, as that is a different skill set. A programming background might be helpful, but is not a showstopper. So, what does that mean for you from a day-to-day perspective? In a typical day, you might be doing any of the following. Remember that you might be working on several projects at the same time, so a given day can be a mix of the things below and not necessarily in that order. You might create and maintain business cases and budgets. You might work on project plans to see if everything is on track and all resources are assigned appropriately. Resource includes human resources, hardware resources, software licenses, and also other company assets like seating space. You may be trying to identify any risk in several different areas and come up with mitigation plans or escalate it to management. You may be involved with meeting business side stakeholders or sit in the requirements meeting conducted by the business analysts. You may be involved in the day-to-day issues and escalations that happen in the project. You may be conducting team meetings, status meetings, and delegating tasks. As a part of being a PM, you will be using some software tools to do your job. Don't worry. Unlike programming jobs, the PM interviews are not about asking you about knowledge of the tools. In techno-functional profiles, the tools you use are merely means to an end and not the end itself. Tools are not the focus of the interview and are very user-friendly with short learning curves. Check out our website to find some free training material on most of these tools. Main types of tools are scheduling and forecasting tools like Microsoft Project. Sometimes Excel is also used to laying out project plans and project reports. There are end-to-end time and task management tools like Clarity, which take care of everything from project financials, resource allocations, timesheets, and associated reporting. There are documentation and collaboration tools like Microsoft SharePoint or Office, where you can store documents in a central place. For day-to-day issue management, you might be using a tool called Jira or Alacrity. And finally, if you're using Agile style development, then the entire Lifecycle might be maintained in tools like Rally or Team Foundation Server. Another common question is, who are my coworkers and what will my team look like? Typically, you will manage a team that will most likely consist of some developers, a technology architect, and some quality analysis resources. Typically, there is one BA to every 8 to 10 developers. You might report to the PMO or to a program manager. On the business side, you will be interacting with subject matter experts, but not reporting to them. So what makes our course special among the hundreds of others who offer project management training? One big plus is that we explain some of the nuances of what goes on in a programmer's life so that you can connect with the people you manage. We give you powerful project management templates you can use from day one. We have a special class on non-functional requirements that no other course thinks about but is really important in real projects. We conduct mock meetings, status reports, etc. that will give you a feel for the real thing. We ensure that you learn to manage projects both Agile, Scrum, and Waterfall style. And we use a real industry project to simulate the experience so that you gain actual experience while doing our course. And finally, career paths for a project manager. Look for a junior project manager position as your first role when you get started. We provide resume and interview preparation packages separately to help you with it. For those who take our Project Management 101 course, the resume and interview package is included. In the short term, you might want to grow horizontally by either specializing in a software tool or a PM with BA skills or a particular industry domain. Over time, you may want to take two vertical paths. You can grow by taking on larger and more critical projects, or you can get into the Project Management Office, the PMO, which is more administrative in nature. Finally, you can be an IT delivery executive responsible for delivery of applications in a large area. Thank you for listening to this webinar. I hope you found it useful. Please feel free to leave comments on this video or call us on 201-340-4718 or check us out on www.kuebikoglobal.com. We offer a variety of information technology courses and interview preparation packages. Feel free to email us to schedule a live demo webinar. Thank you once again, and do check out our other videos.